For many years, women have been fighting to have equality in sports compared to men. Progress has been made to give women equality, but women are still unequal when it comes to sports. The pay gap and media coverage fuel the issue of inequality for women. Ever since the late 1900s, women have been treated unequally while playing sports at the collegiate or professional level. Many people, like Catherine Switzer and Chris Ernst, have fought and protested for women to have equality when doing sports that men can do. Catherine Switzer was the first woman to ever complete a marathon. At the age of 20, Switzer ran the Boston Marathon in 1967. At this time, it was believed that running long distances like a marathon would damage women's health and femininity. When entering the marathon, she changed her name to KV Switzer to attempt to hide her gender from the officials. After 2 miles into the marathon, the officials tried to eject her from the course, but she finished the race and became the first woman to finish any marathon. After this, she proved that women can run long distances, and 5 years later, in 1972, women were allowed to enter a marathon. Along with Switzer changing things for women, Chris Ernst helped make changes for women in college. Ernst is now an Olympic rower, but in 1976 she attended Yale. At Yale, her and along with 18 of her teammates protested for better showers in their locker rooms. After 2 weeks, they had a new locker room and inspired change all across the country. After the many changes that have changed the world for women in sports, the issue of inequality still exists today. One of the lingering issues is the pay of women professional sports players compared to men. In sports that both men and women play, women get a significantly lower amount of money. According to CNBC, the WNBA agreed to a 53% pay raise from roughly $116,000 to $130,000. Although this is more than some regular jobs, the NBA players have an average of about $7.7 million at the end of 2019. This number has risen since the 2018-2019 season when it was at $6.4 million. Along with WNBA players being paid less than men, the Women's World Cup soccer team is also paid less. One of the best women's soccer players in the USA, Alex Morgan, has a salary of about $450,000. $450,000 is a lot of money, but compared to the men, it is barely anything. Arguably the best soccer player in the world, Cristiano Ronaldo, has a salary of about 31 million euros, which is roughly $34 million in US currency. The difference between these salaries show how women are still not treated equally when they are compared to their male counterparts. Sports media is a big part of sports because it gives fans things to watch when it comes to knowing about their favorite teams and players. Of all the media coverage on sports, women only hold 4% of the media coverage when also including college sports. According to theionin.org, the media's lack of coverage for women's sports reflects society's view of women in general, that they are less than their male counterparts, and that the cultural norm of the society we live in is that men are considered the strong athletic ones who dominate the sports world. A solution that can be made is to devote a certain percentage of the media coverage to women's sports. This could bring popularity and more of an audience to women's sports, which would start to make things a little equal between genders. This would also help bring money to the women's sports associations, which would allow them to pay women more money. According to ncbi.nlm.nih.gov, the media conditions society's vision and understanding of sports. Also, teaching the society how women are also able to play just as well as men. This would change how society views women and could help draw more attention to women's sports.